we in a recession? Right now, are you feeling the pinch? Are you feeling the fact that your paycheck isn't going as far as it used to? Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, and today we're gonna take it back to the 1930s when our grandparents and our great-grandparents were growing up to see what kind of tips we can get from them. Today we're talking frugal tips from the Great Depression. Now, I'm going to go fast here. I've got my iPad. I'm going to read through these. I'm going to try to get through 25. Are you guys ready? Okay. Number 1, trade services. So if you are an excellent bread maker and you need somebody to hem your dress for a wedding coming up soon, trade services. Make bread, have your friend hem your dress. Number 2, hang your laundry. Some places don't allow you to do this outside. I have a clothesline. Well, I used to have a clothesline. My husband pulled it down. He was driving the truck with the boat underneath it. It got snagged, ripped the whole darn thing right down. It's yet to go back up. Next summer, promise I'm going to have a clothesline again. It's going to save you lots of money. If you don't have a clothesline, grab one of those foldable drying racks to dry your clothes. Works the same way. Also, especially in the wintertime, it'll give some humidity to the air. Number 3, create a stockpile. I've got this amazing stockpile in my basement. I bought some of those metal shelves. They work fantastic for storing the things that you already eat. Don't buy things for your stockpile that nobody likes. I mean, what are you going to do with 16 cans of artichoke hearts if nobody likes artichoke hearts? So grab the things that you can when they're on sale and start building up a stockpile as soon as possible. If you have some extra money, if you sold some things on Facebook Marketplace, then grab those sales and then build up right away. Number 4, turn the oven on once, cook all of your food. While you're cooking that casserole for dinner, make the egg bake for tomorrow morning and also cook that chicken for lunch for the next few days. Turn the oven on once, cook a whole bunch of stuff. That way you warm up the house once, only use the fuel one time, and then you're done. Number 5, cook at home. Stop eating out so much. We are notorious in our society for going through the drive-thru or ordering on an app and having it delivered. I mean, there are companies that are created, Uber Eats, that are made to go pick up your food and bring it back to you. It's time to stop doing that, save your money, and cook at home. Number 6, look for sales. When my grandparents were young, they had to live on the least amount of money that they could find. I don't know how well it worked with sales back in the 1930s, but today, shop the flyers, look for sales. Look for those bone-in chicken breasts that nobody ever wants to eat. Grab those and trim off the chicken and eat the rest of the meat too. Number 7, if you live in an area where you can raise small animals, do so. Chickens will give you eggs and meat. Goats will give you milk that you can turn into cheese. I read this great book. I think I told you about it in another video, actually. It's How to Have a Homestead on Half of an Acre or something like that. Fantastic book. I'll see if I can find it and put it down below for you. Number 8, don't have credit cards. Credit cards didn't exist. You don't need to have them now. There are plenty of ways to get by through life without credit cards. So many people in our country have all of this consumer debt. They can't afford to do anything else because they're paying people back from the money that they borrowed for that new couch or new boots or going out to dinner. Stop doing that. Cut up the credit cards, pay off the debt. Don't go back. Grow your own food. My mom she doesn't have a green thumb. She has all green fingers. She is excellent at growing her own food. She has fantastic stockpile of canning goods that she has done. Even if you can only grow some salad greens in your kitchen window, that's going to be less food that you're going to need to buy at the grocery store the next time you want a salad. Number 10, stop buying the one-use items. Ditch the paper towels, the napkins, and the baggies. Gone. Stop using them. Reuse glass jars, reusable zipper bags, reuse napkins and old cloths for cleanup. You don't need to buy those disposable one-time use items anymore. They didn't have those when our grandparents were kids. You don't need them now. Number 11, eat your leftovers. Plan to have leftover nights. We just had one last night. There was potato casserole in there. There was soup. There was some pulled pork pasta in there. There were a couple of sausages left. We just had a leftover night. Everybody got their own dinner. they were just fine. And that was one night that I didn't have to cook. Number 12, if you live on some property, compost. Take all of those things that you're not eating, throw them outside, and let them create wonderful, rich, mineral-filled, nutrient-filled soil. So when you start your garden and grow your own plants, you've got this great dirt. Let me tell you something. Dirt is not cheap. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's to get a bag of dirt, you're going to pay $15, $20 for a bag of dirt. Really. Start making your own now, so when you're ready to plant your garden in the spring, you're all set. Number 13, use cash. Buy with cash. If you don't have the money, don't buy it. When my grandmother was raising her family, she had envelopes, and on the envelopes, she had written what the money was for. So if she was renting at the time when my mom was a little baby, they were renting a house. They had an envelope for rent. They had an envelope for groceries. They had an envelope for gas. They had an envelope for utility bills. They had a checking account, but they also had the envelopes so they knew how much money they were spending. There was a lack of trust when it came to banks in those days. My grandmother felt more comfortable having the cash with her in her home than she did in a savings or a checking account at the bank. Use cash. It'll save you money. Number 14, buy quality. When you're going out to buy a pair of shoes, even if you have to spend a little bit more, I know this sounds a little contradictory, but if you have to spend a little bit more for a good pair of shoes that's going to last you 10 years, then do that. It's better than spending $10 on a pair of shoes and then realizing that the soles are gone in a year and a half and you have to go replace them. Buy quality, buy once. Seek out inexpensive entertainment. Change your mindset, right? Decide that entertainment is not a necessity. Entertainment is literally that, entertainment. It's for fun. We all need more fun in our lives, but we don't have to spend a fortune. Why go spend $120 a ticket for a Chris Stapleton concert when the park in the next town over has free music every Thursday night? Instead of spending lots of money on your entertainment, look for free things. My husband last weekend went to a big, huge car show, over 500 cars. He's a car guy, loves cars, spent no money. Fantastic opportunities are out there to entertain yourself and your family for virtually no money. Number 17, buy used. The very first thing when I want something or I'm thinking about getting something is head straight to Facebook Marketplace. People sell things all the time. They always seem to have what I need. If they don't have it now, they will eventually. For example, I was looking for a plant stand for in front of my window. I love plants and I'm propagating them all the time, so I always have little baby plants and I need some place to put them. Nice weather, I have a beautiful front porch that allows me to do that, but once it starts getting cold here in the Adirondacks, I need to bring them in. So I was looking for a plant stand. Lo and behold, Facebook Marketplace had exactly what I wanted, 10 bucks. Brought it home, threw some paint on it, works perfectly. Number 18, be stingy with electricity. Many people who do YouTube and have YouTube channels have all of these lights all over the place. Well, I'm not going to buy lights. So here I am sitting in front of this beautiful window, plenty of light. The lighting here is doing just fine for the job that I want to do it with. Turn lights off and use candles if you need to, or simple task lighting. If you're sitting on the couch watching TV, a small task lamp next to you so you can see your phone, because you're probably scrolling on your phone also, right? All you need, a small task light. There's no reason to have the big overhead lights on or all of the lamps in the house on if you're sitting in the living room watching TV. Number 19, just buy less stuff. I'm guilty of adding to cart. It's just the way that the society works, right? Blame it on the society. Amazon makes it way too easy. Most of the time, I don't need the stuff that's in my cart. And I've gotten really good at putting it in the cart, then waiting, going back later and realizing what it is I want, what it is I need, and what it is that I really just don't need. I end up taking the majority out of the cart anyway. Buy less stuff. Get by with what you already have. Number 20, reduce waste. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's the tube of toothpaste, the rest of the peanut butter in the jar, or the ends of the bread. Reduce waste. Find a way to use that up. The other day, my husband was getting ready to throw away a peanut butter jar. Whoa, I said, what are you doing? He said, it's empty. I said, oh no, it's not. I was able to get another half of a sandwich out of that peanut butter jar using this really cool tool that I'm going to put up in the corner. I think I got it at probably Amazon. Well, who am I kidding? And I was able to scrape enough peanut butter out of that jar before I threw it away or recycled it. Another sandwich. I mean, seriously, it's peanut butter. Why would you ever waste peanut butter? Even if you can only get a spoonful out, put that peanut butter in your mouth. Embrace frugal hobbies. Let's take it back. Let's take it back to finding hobbies that will actually do something for you. Create something that you can actually use. Instead of shopping for hobby, crochet for hobby. Make a blanket. What can you do with that blanket? You can keep yourself warm when you turn down the heat. You can give it as a gift. Go back to things that you can use and use those as your hobbies. Candle making, soap making, crocheting, sewing, knitting, all of those hobbies can result in things that you can actually use. Bake. Artisanal bread is a huge thing right now. It's very in. Learn to bake artisanal bread and then eat what you bake. Fix it instead of replacing it. It's normal practice in today's society, much different from the 1930s during the Great Depression. When people lose a button on their shirt now, they just send it to the recycling bin or the donation bin. They don't even bother sewing the button on. I mean, how many people do you know that have no idea how to sew on a button? I have friends that, one of my friends in particular, she would lose a button on her pants and she would bring it to me and ask me to sew it. She didn't even own a needle and a thread. Instead of replacing the shirt without a button or the pants without a button, just fix it. The same goes for everything else. Your lawnmower breaks, fix it. Your sneaker, the rubber sole from your sneaker comes unglued, glue it. I mean, seriously, a bottle of glue is a few dollars compared to sneakers. They're not cheap. And lastly, one of my favorites, wear an apron. This is a tradition from way back when. I can remember even as a small child in the 1970s, my grandma wearing an apron. I have aprons. My cousin actually made me this beautiful apron. It's adorable. I wear an apron all the time. It may be because I'm sloppy, or it may be just preventative. Caring for my clothes in a way that looks super cute too. I mean, how adorable, an apron, right? It protects my clothes from splatter and stains, which means that I can keep better care of my clothes and I can keep them longer and wear them without having to replace it. Okay, 25 frugal tips from the Great Depression. Is there anything in there that you would like to try that you haven't tried yet? Leave me a message in the comments and let me know your favorite. Of course, mine is the apron. I'll tell you, mine is the apron. Have a great day, everybody.